Happy Monday morning, and I'm very excited that we have completed around 40 hours of learning journey in understanding this particular product, Pega, right? Of course, it's a really vast product, and we will have to learn it piece by piece. Like they say, the 1,000-mile journey starts with one step. So we are inching closer day by day. Perfect. So on that note, so far in last couple of classes we have covered what is harness all about. It's a container for sections, and we used it to house many sections, and there are different harnesses which we saw. One was the new harness, which was responsible to render the work item form before the work item gets created or the work object gets created. How can I see that? You can click on the live UI tool and you can identify that this particular harness is going to be new harness. Yes, we identified that before the work object is created, the harness which I'll be using is new harness. From after which, if I create something, for example, when I say A20221204-3 and say search, it says no item available. Let me choose something else to no one. No. Okay, if it is not there, let me go ahead and create one. So when I click create, this should take me to my perform harness. What happens here? A work object gets created and my perform harness gets loaded. Like the name says, the new harness is an editable harness. We are able to edit and provide values here. It's an editable harness. Same thing is true for perform as well. Perform harness also is a harness which is editable. We'll also verify how exactly I can identify that using live UI. So yesterday's class was more focused on understanding what is perform harness all about. Now I see that my work object got created. As soon as the work object gets created, the harness which loads is my perform harness. I can click on any icon here or any layout, and then I can go up and see that these many sections are housed, or this perform harness is containing these many sections, and it is sitting in the work dash class. Why? Because I should be able to use all the out of the box sections: px case main, py case main, inner wrapper, py case main, inner. All these are out of the box sections which I am using, and this is my user defined section which I created, and this is on perform harness. Every assignment has a perform harness being used to render it. Let me submit it and go a little further and see on the confirmation page what exactly do I get. Let me submit. All these are assignments which are configured on my flow. I'm just submitting and going further to the confirmation page where the case gets resolved. See, it is resolved, completed. Let me check what harness is going to appear here. Just click on this and click on top, case information. Okay, on the cell, let us go much further here. You should be able to see the confirm harness. See, if you see, the harness which is showing you this confirmation message is confirm harness. And do you feel this is editable? This is not editable, this is read only, right? The new harness is editable, the perform harness is editable, and the confirm harness is meant to show confirmation messages. This confirmation is giving us an understanding that this particular work object has been resolved and completed. That's the background behind harnesses. We do have review harness also. It's more again a read-only harness which is used for internal purpose. That's the harness story which we have covered so far. So today's topic, something which we'll be focusing on, is routing in Pega. We'll be understanding what is routing in Pega. So again, coming back to the base and understanding what exactly is routing. For example, in every home, you do have your father who makes the major decisions. For example, for a young kid, if he wants a cycle, the first thing he tells is, Mom, I need a cycle. And then your mom takes that request to your father for approval. That's how it works in most of the homes. Yes or no? right? If you consider buying a cycle as a work object, that work object got routed from the user. Who is the user here? The guy who wants to ride it. It got routed from him to his father via his mom. He he moved, he routed it to his mom, and that request got routed to the father. And once he approves this, the user is able to ride the bike, yes or no? Or whoever it is. Do we agree? That's how routing works. The same thing is true in any organization. For example, even in your college, if you want to go on a leave, you will have to raise a request with your principal or your teacher or class leader. Yes or no? Don't you have to raise that request with them or ask them at a basic level? Or if you are working in an organization, you will have to put in a request, a leave request, which goes to your manager's approval. Yes or no? This is routing. Routing is nothing but taking that approval, and it is there everywhere you go. For example, if you want a loan for like 10 lakhs and if your income is 20,000, then that amount is not something which fits in your bracket. Like, a 20,000 earning guy, he won't be able to bear the charges which are coming or the EMI which is going to come. So what do? When you raise a request, it goes through multiple approvals. Multiple managers have to approve. When you go and ask the condition of your loan, they will say, sir, right now the case is with our manager. He's looking into it. And if you go a few days later, that manager approved it, but now it is with a higher manager. Haven't we heard this thing, guys? Yes, no. The loan request is nothing but a work object. That work object is moving from parties, you know yes or no? It is going from one party. You are the party who initiated it. From that, it went to the person who accepted it. Could be the clerk or the peon who accepted it. The work object went to him. From there, he verified all the details. It looks everything okay. He then moved it to the first level manager. First level manager verified it. It looked okay to him. He moved it again for second level approval to second level manager. Based on the amount, the number of approvals vary. Yes or no? For example, if you want a 5 crore loan, only 2 approvals might not be sufficient. You might need multiple approvals, but the work object should be having the capability to be routed on all these levels. Do we agree? Do you understand what is routing all about? Perfect. So if with this basic understanding, let us see how can we achieve something like that within Pega. Right? Within Pega, how can we achieve something like that is what we are going to focus on learning. To start that, let me close the harness story today. Perfect. Now I'm in my system. Who is the user for the system? That is admin at alpha. Let me access him. See, I can go from here and I can click on operator. This gives me the operator who is accessing this system. If you see, operator ID also is a record in or a rule in Pega. Operator ID also is a record in Pega. This record, if you see, go to view XML and there is a control F pxobj class. There is a pxobj class which is data admin operator ID. All the operators belong to this particular class. Data admin operator ID, our instance of data admin operator ID, very important. Every operator ID rule. Every operator is an instance of this class. And if you see, your operator ID form has multiple fields. If you see, when I open my operator ID rule from here, if you see, there is a first name, last name, whatever a star is mandatory. That's why you see that admin is populating there, and a phone number, a mail. Do we see all these details here? Yes or no? The operator ID reference class is data admin operator ID. We saw that. Also, there is a tab. If you see in this, next to profile, there is a work tab where there is much more details. What organizational unit does he belong to? What is this? Alpha, division, and unit. Alpha is your organization, DIV is your division, unit is your unit. Imagine this to be Reliance Geo Bangalore unit, Reliance Geo Delhi unit, Does it make sense? That's what we discussed when we created the application. We understood how application creation works within Pega. This is organization, application, division, and unit. You can revisit the application creation class and you will understand this, right? And along with that, there is a work group or a work class to which under which you will be getting all the work associated to you. Also, if you see in this form next to the profile, there is something called as reports to. What do you mean reports to? In the sense, every user, every employee in an organization has to be reporting to someone. Do we agree? See, and the rule form should have somewhere option to capture that, like who does this operator report to. That's what this is doing. This rule form can be accessed from here, from your profile, or what you can do, you can also go from records, organization, operator ID, and then you can see all the operators which are present in the system. Do you see admin at alpha, dev at alpha, user at alpha, which we have created? All these operators we have created, but right now they don't report to anyone. Verify that. See, is the developer profile which we created. Right now he's not reporting to anyone. Is he? No, he's not reporting to anyone. So this operator information is also available on your clipboard. How can I find that? For example, admin at alpha. This details are also available on clipboard under certain pages. What are those pages? If you come into clipboard and you open your clipboard, minimize this guy also. There is something called as system pages. When you expand that system pages, do we see a operator ID page? See, click on this. Are we able to see that operator admin at alpha? What is this operator ID? There is something, a property called as py user identifier. Is it there? This holds the operator ID. This is the operator ID using which I log into the system. Yes or no? Admin at alpha. Very important. Py user identifier is the property which holds the operator ID. Py user identifier is the property which is available on clipboard page. It is also available in the table pr underscore operators table. All the operator IDs are present in pr underscore operators table. We'll see that also. We have been using this user to log in every day. Yes or no? Py user identifier is the property on operator ID page and pr underscore operator table which holds the user ID. What is user ID? The ID using which you have logged into the system is user ID. You can also call it operator ID. Operator ID will make more sense. Operator ID. We'll see that. And like we said, we have to group these users as part of something. For example, your in your school, you know that this is 5th grade, this is 6th grade, this is 7th grade, or this is for 5th standard, 6th standard. What have they done? They have grouped all of you based on standards. Yes or no? Yes or no, guys? Haven't they grouped you? Like these are 5th graders, these are 6th graders. Same way, we are grouping the users using something called as access group. We discussed this also in previous one of the classes. We discussed this access group. Access group by default, it is, it is the division or your application name, and for example, who are the authors is something. By default, it gave us, when you try to create your application, the last stage was adding this operator, where this access group also Pega already created that. So all we are trying to say here is this operator is associated with the access group. Do you see this here? It's an interface between application and operator. Access group is the interface or a link between application and operator. How do we say that? If you open this access group, see, I clicked here. Now when I open this, see what is it linked to? Is this the application we are working on, Alpha Auto? Yes or no? Perfect. So that is one understanding you need to have. Also, if you see on this clipboard page, there is a property called py reports to. It is blank. Right now, this operator is not reporting to anyone. Yes or no? On the UI, you see this in the form as reports to. If you see here, it tells reports to, but the property which is mapped to this field is py reports to, and that holds who is the manager for that particular operator. Who is the manager for the current operator is what that particular value holds. Yes or no? Right now we don't have one. Let us add a manager to this particular operator. Let's try to see how we can do that. You can do in multiple ways. Exactly how we create rules, right? You can right click on operator ID and you can create a new operator ID. Or another easy way is, just open the existing operator ID, and then you can do a save as and just change the name. For example, let's do both and check. Just what I'm doing, I have opened the operator ID from here. Now I'm trying to do a save as of this particular operator admin at alpha, and in the description name I'm saying it's similar to how we used to do save as of section and perform our changes. Exactly similar to that. I'll call this guy admin manager or alpha manager 1 is what, let me call it. Okay, alpha manager 1. This also will be alpha manager 1. Create and open. Let me update the full name because the full name is still showing as admin because I have saved as this thing. I'll call it alpha manager 1. Let me approve this. Who is joining? Okay. Alpha manager 1. Are you able to understand how I have created this? But he doesn't belong to the same access group. The access group should be different. Why? Because he's a manager. Do the teachers and the students belong to the same group? No. Teachers are teachers, students are students. That is why we should have a different access group for managers because that's a different group. Let us see if we have managers. We don't have managers. Let us create one for managers. Let me create an access group for managers. We should be having ideally, but that's not there. Let's find. Let's change it to managers. You can save as one of this guys itself. Save as and call it alpha. I don't want this authors. I want to call this managers. Managers. Perfect. Create and open. So I created an access group and a managers operator ID. Two rules we created here. Perfect. Just to be able to track this people. So if I go on top, I do have alpha auto managers. Let us delete this. We don't want this. We only want Alpha managers. Perfect. Save. We were able to create a manager ID. Yes or no? You can also create it from here. Operator ID. Right click here and then click create. And then you can call it Alpha manager 2. So see, another operator ID we were able to create. Full name is Alpha Manager 2. What is the access group? Again, the managers. Do you understand how we can create operator IDs within Pega? Very simple. Access group is empty. Sorry, I had chosen this one. Okay, perfect. So this is a very valid error. Also, once you create a operator ID, you should also point his. For example, we are creating this because we saved as the values got copied very easily there. Now when I'm trying to create a new one from here, I'm getting this error. What is it telling? It is telling default access group field cannot be empty. Now I populated that, and it is telling division is not valid, organization unit is not valid, organization is not valid is what it is telling. Where can I find this? Under the work tab. Yes or no? Right now it is empty. Let's try to update it. How can I update it? You just have to click on update. Come on the work tab and then click on update. Cancelling, coming back again. Whenever you open your operator ID, by default you will be on the profile screen. Make sure you'll go to the work tab to update the organization. Which organization you want this operator to belong to. Your application might have multiple organization it is supporting. But if you have to update to a specific organization, you have to come here, click on update, and you can choose what is your organization. If you don't know, you want to see a list of all the available organizations, cancel this guy, open this guy, view organizational chart. Here you should be able to see all the organizations which are available. Alpha is my organization. Yes or no? These two we are not dealing with them. Yes or no? In a typical application, you might have few more based on how many applications they are supporting as part of the organization. That's fine. No issues. Make sense? Now let me choose this guy. See, if I choose that, it will be opening me the unit of that particular organization. Alpha div unit. I need the same thing there. Let me close this. I know what organization he belongs to. I can choose that now. Update it. And then choose your organization, whatever your organization is. For example, here it would be Alpha. If you just click here and see drop down, Alpha division unit. Submit. Does it make sense, guys? How exactly I am updating the organization division and the unit for this particular operator? Perfect. So we were able to add two manager IDs to this application. Now it is asking for a password also. It should have a password. Let us update the password as well. Let me tell the password is rules. Perfect. Submit. Save. Two manager IDs we have successfully added, manager 1 and manager 2. Now we do have managers. Now we can update our operator ID with a reports to field. This is my operator ID, admin at alpha. Other than this, we created two other operators, which is manager 1, manager 2. Okay, and who belong to the manager access group, which is fine, no problem for me. Right now, I have to update the reports to field for this particular operator ID. To do that, what I can do, same thing on the admin at alpha operator profile. From the profile, I'll navigate to work. Here, I will tell this guy has a manager who he reports to. Who is that? If I just come on the drop down, am I able to find my managers who I have specified? Yes, no. See, so we are able to update who is going to be the manager for this guy. We have updated that. That is alpha manager 1. Perfect. So our operator has a manager who he can look up to, or who he can send stuff for approval. For example, he gets a vehicle insurance request. He can route it to him if that request needs approval. There is a vehicle which came, which they are looking for insurance, and whatever deductible and other properties are there, they have specified. Now after his work is done, he has to route it to the manager because he can't approve. His job is to just accept the request, build the forms, and move it further for approval. That's what he can do. We can build a routing mechanism around our existing customer flow to see how exactly our operator can do that. So there are two concepts when it comes to routing. One thing is called as work list. Another thing is called as work queue. Okay. What is work list? Let us say whoever, for example, who are attending today, in your home we do have trash cans or dustbins where you collect all your trash, and your mother tells so and so, for example, Vishwas, before you go to bed you have to throw the trash in the trash bin. So is that a task in everyone's that everyone can take care, or only Vishwas has to take care? Because the manager has assigned it specifically to Vishwas. It is in his list. For example, Vishwas, the tasks in his list before he goes to bed are brushing the teeth, reading his regular prayers, and ironing his uniform. And the fifth task which got added to his list is throwing this trash. Do we understand what is a work list? Work list is specific to one particular person. One particular person the work list is specific to. What is work queue in that case? Work queue, work list, or work queue. Work queue is also called as work basket. Work basket. So let us say your mom tells whoever goes to the market, please bring curry leaves while you are coming back. Is it to someone specific, or it is in a basket? It's a task which is there in your house basket. Whoever is going to the market, he has to complete that task. Yes or no? Do you understand what is a work list and work basket? It is assigned to a team. Work basket is for tasks assigned to a team. However, work list is to a single person. A single person is assigned this. It is available in his list. However, work basket is for a team. For example, if you are working in a call center, let us say, all that you have to do is take calls and let them know about the insurance offers. Now, whenever you get calls, you get a work object is created. Let us say, if it is for a specific user, the assigned to property will be, for example, Vishwas is the customer sales representative. If it is assigned to him, it will be under his list. He has to call them. Or if you have a basket for your entire team, let us say you are Asia Pacific call center and you have a work basket for Asia Pacific specific tasks, then there will be a basket under which all these calls are getting lined up as work objects. Whoever is there in the team or available for that particular shift, he has to pick up one item from there and work on that. Do we understand how work list and work item, work list and work basket operate, guys? Very good. So sometimes it also happens that if the case is big, a part of the portion can also be assigned. Okay, for example, if you are getting a house constructed in your hometown, okay, and if you're getting a house constructed, that entire work object can't be assigned to a single person. What you will do, for example, a bathroom is being constructed. Let us say today the walls are being constructed. Whoever is going to that space, he will be completing the walls today. He will be monitoring the walls, for example. In my home, if I and my brother are there, so today whoever is going there, he is going to take care of that particular the wall construction. Tomorrow, the commode installation will be taken care by my brother. In that case, what happens? That means that the transaction is very big, and uh, multiple items are being assigned to depending upon certain situations. Yes or no? Can we call those assignments? Constructing the wall is assignment, installing a commode is assignment, developing a drainage is assignment. All these are different assignments in a workflow, and that also can be assigned to individual operators. We'll see that, okay? But this is a basic idea about work list and work basket. Is it understood, guys? Within Pega also we'll try to see that, but before that we need to understand what is this concept, right? When someone talks to you about work list and work basket, this should come to you. Work list, something assigned to me specifically, which my father asked me to do specifically, is something for me. Something which is generic for my home, you know, whoever goes to the market, please fetch curry leaves, is one of such. It is exactly similar to how our day-to-day lives are running. That's how we have to relate it to and learn. Okay, perfect. So let us try to implement something. Okay, let us say in our existing flow, today we don't have any approval mechanism. Do we agree? Do we have any approvals going around in our flow? We don't have any approvals. Why? Because we didn't have this reporting mechanism, no manager to talk to or anything. Only the user used to log in, continue till the end and submit the request. That's what he was doing. That's what we have been observing so far has been happening. Where is my flow? We can go from the work class also. It is there in my recent. So I'm just clicking here to access it. So this is my customer flow. We have implemented this decision recently. However, there is no routing. None of these assignments are getting routed. Let us say I'm trying to build our house and the bathroom construction is happening. Let us say this is the wall construction, this is the commode installation, this is the drain installation, this is the, let us say, tile installation. All these can be assignments which are specific to some particular person. Yes or no? It can be routed to a specific person. In a normally when you try to think, if building a bathroom is a work object, in that if you break these items into small chunks, building the wall is done by the concrete person who is the masonry work guy. He will do it. The same way commode installation, there is a specific commode you have bought online and they're sending the installation person separately. So that is a task which is specific for him, which has to be routed for him. Similarly, the tile work is done by the specialist who do the tiles. Yes or no? The same way piping is done by plumbers only. Do we agree, guys? Is it being understood? Yes. So that is why we will need at the assignment level also we should have capability to route assignment to a specific user, or for a specific person for approval. If you open any assignment for a matter of fact, you will see Pega gives you a routing option. See? Who should complete this step? Right now it is current operator because we don't have a separate tile guy, separate masonry guy or anything. Do we agree? So currently our operator is doing all that. So Pega has that capability that you can route a single assignment to a specific operator or a work basket or a work queue. If you open this, open any assignment, let's say I open this assignment, see, current operator to a specific operator to a specific work queue or custom, or you want to use a business logic. For example, you want to see if there are bunch of operators in your team or if you have bunch of folks in your home, depending upon who is free that day, then you want to route that task to that specific person. Don't we come across situations like this in our day-to-day life? Oh, today I'm not available, so this guy is free. Runtime, you are deciding who is going to go and complete that task. Exactly similar implementation. Why I am giving you this perspective is so that you can think in those lines. That's the only objective behind that. Perfect. So all we want to do today is, for example, we need to add a new assignment for managers approval because we added the managers Today, a manager 1 and manager 2. I want to add a manager approval after auto vehicle uh, assignment. Route the assignment to manager of the current operator. After the auto vehicle flow action is done, I want to route this particular work object, whatever work object, a hyphen whatever you're working, it has to go through approval, and then it has to reach the address info page. Does it make sense? Whatever task the user has completed so far till the auto vehicle insurance, I want that to be verified by a manager. He has to see before the address information is being provided. I want to verify, validate it. If it is okay, he has to approve it. Only after that, the data has to go further and he should be able to capture the address information, or else the manager should have ability to reject it, approve or reject. If he approves, it goes further. If he rejects, it gets returned to the operator's work list. Does it make sense? Perfect. Let us see how we can do it. So to do that, our operator should have a reporting manager. We already did that. We added the reporting manager, yes or no, to our operator. Did we add? See, open this operator, and if you see the work tab of the operator profile, you'll see that alpha manager 1 is already added. So he has a manager. Now let us see what we can do further. So to capture this, I will need a data class or a data type. Let me create a data type for approval. Go to data types. This is something which I've already done so many times. I'm just trying to show you that. Add a data type called approval. Approval will just have approve and reject, nothing fancy. And if comments, for example, if the manager is rejecting it, he should be able to comment something, right? Why is he rejecting? If he's approving, why is he approving? These are the stuff which he should be able to provide. Yes or no? Perfect. Alpha auto data approval. Very good. So this is the class which is getting created. Let me submit this guy, and I should be able to get the data type. The data type should populate. Alpha auto. The approval data type is ready. Now I need the fields here. How will I add the fields? Just click on add field, and I will say I need a approval field which will have two options, approve and reject. Approval. And how can I give that? I can use a pick list. If I have two values, I can use pick list and add your choices, whatever your choices are. Pick list, should it be a drop down list? No, I want it to be like radio buttons. The user should be able to choose, and I will say approve and reject. Makes sense, right guys? Does it make sense? Right? Okay. Submit. Perfect. I need this one. Oh, I may need one more field to capture the comments. For example, if he is rejecting, he has to give the reason. Why did you reject my work? Don't you see that? For example, sometimes when the Amazon, if it's not able to ship a item or if there is a delay, they'll give you a reason. For such and such reason, we were not able to do it. So let us give him a field for that also. We will say all you are here is a Pega developer. You are developing this particular screen to enable approvals or routing. Paragraph. I need a paragraph here. I can't do it with the text line. If the details are too many, he has to write a paragraph. Oh, this particular person who you are trying to insure has a very low driving score or stuff like that. He will be specifying that in the comment section. That is why I'm using a paragraph. Paragraph will give you like option to so that he can enter more characters. However, the text is only for small, I mean, a limited set of characters. A paragraph, you can write a whole paragraph like the name says. Perfect. Now my data model is ready. What do I need after this? After this, I will need a section in the data class. Let me go to my data class first. What is my data class which got created? Alpha auto data approval. and I can say data approval. So I'll have a data model because properties got created. I need a UI, so I need a section. How will I do it? Right click on your data class, create, go to the user interface category, section, and then let us create a section. Pretty similar how exactly we have been creating so far. Approval section, let me call it approval section. Create and open. Perfect. Of course, I have to convert this to a full section editor to be able to access the palette, which helps us build this thing. Let me modify this to accept inline grid double sort of a layout. Double, and then let me drag and drop a layout within this guy with stacked and labels on left. I want a layout. Perfect. Stacked with labels left. Other. Perfect. Submit. Okay, perfect. Now that is done. Now what do I need here? I need to be able to add those properties here. Pretty simple. Hold this guy. Sorry. Approve and reject. Hold this guy. Anything fancy here, guys? Haven't we done this before? Does not exist is what it tells. Why does it tell that? Let's go and check. Which rules are did it get created in approval? Okay. So this got created in 010102. This is in 010101. Let us save as this in 010102. That should solve the problem. The error is because we created the properties in 010101, but they are not visible. Sorry, in 02, which is not visible to 01. So I have to just save as it in the latest version. To avoid such thing, like we discussed, whenever we are done with the rule set, it's always good to lock that off. See, now it's saved properly. Does it make sense, guys? Yes. No. We discussed during rule set versioning. We had unlocked it for some reason, because of which we are seeing that. Perfect. Now that we have created the data layer aspects, which is my data type and my data class, let us create a page reference like we usually do in my work class so that I can refer this particular section here. Okay, perfect. I came back to my work class. Now I want to create a page which references my data class. Right click as usual, data model, property, and call it approval page. I want to create a page. Approval page. Create and open. Perfect. I don't want this to be text. I want this to be a single page. Yes or no? Have we created such sort of pages before, guys? Very good. Approval. Save. Where does the section go? The section which we created, where does it go? Flow action. Of course, my next step is creating a flow action. But very interesting point is going to come ahead right now. Come to creating a section on a work class. Of course, give it a name which is approval FA. But if you see now, once it loads, or did I create a section? My bad, sorry. I don't want a section, I want a flow action. Not data model, under the process category, please. I have to create a flow action. Approval FA. Approval flow action. Now, what should I give here, guys, in the section? But I'm not able to find that here, am I? Right? I do have a link to my data class. What is that? Page. How can I use that page? So far, we had been using applies to class, but how can I use that page? If you go to the page context, you know, there is something called as use clipboard page. Yes or no? Are you able to see different options here? There is something called as use clipboard page. Let me use my clipboard page. For example, the page which I have created for this purpose is, what is it? Approval page. Am I able to see that? Yeah, approval page. Yes or no, guys? Perfect. And let us refer to the class to which our section belongs to. Data approval. And now I should be able to get that section. Am I able to find that section, guys? Yes, no. Perfect. Let me select that. Save this guy. All that we have done so far already seen. The only change we saw is how to use clipboard page and populate this approval section. Perfect. Quite basic. Nothing fancy. Getting back to my customer flow. Now we need to do changes here. Why? The flow action which we created has to be called somewhere, but there is no space here. What have we told? After the personal vehicle information is provided, I want this particular work object to be routed to a different assignment where approval will happen. Let us add that thing here. Okay, let's add that routing to the approval info section. Okay, or assignment. On the approval info assignment, I want to tell that all I want to do is, I should be able to move this particular guy to approval info where the approval will happen. Let us create an assignment for that. Let me drag and drop a assignment and let me call it approval info. If the session ends, I will be creating another link and sending you across. Don't worry about that. Perfect. I created this particular assignment. Let me submit, and first let me move this guy from here to here. So all I want to do is, after the personal vehicle information is provided, I want this particular work object to go through the approval process. Once it is approved, it has to go to the address info. Does it make sense, guys? Okay, I'm linking it here. Perfect. What does this particular connector have then? It should have my approval FA. Yes or no? Approval flow action. Once the approval happens, but let us see what happens with the approval. Approval FA. All we have done is, in the existing flow, we added a new assignment which will take care of routing, but we haven't enabled that yet. Let us enable the routing. How do we enable the routing? Go on the assignment where you want to enable routing. Okay, and here you'll get an option to do that. How can I do that? You can pick, for example, current operator or some specific operator, work queue. There is something option called custom. Just pick that. Do you see something coming up here? The work list, work queue, connect, dependency, a lot of other stuff. Just focus on work list and work queue. Coming back again, all we have done is came back to our flow and we wanted to add the capability to be able to route this particular work or this work object or this task to the manager after the personal vehicle information was captured or auto vehicle information was captured by the operator. He wanted to route it to the manager so that he can approve it. He verifies all the details provided and then he will be able to approve it. Does it make sense? Yes? No? To configure that, I'll be going on the assignment which we have created newly for approval, which has to be routed to this current operator's manager. How can I do it? Go to custom, choose worklist, because I want to route it to that particular operator ID's manager. So I'll use worklist, and then instead of the current operator, you know, I don't want it to go to the current operator. I will say I can remove this guy and I can pass a parameter, I guess. No, okay. I will have to tell which operator, or I can do a specific operator right from here. You don't even have to come till here. You can say a specific operator and then you can choose who is that operator going to be. Can I find that manager here, guys? You are routing the particular work object directly to his manager, whoever the manager is. Does it make sense? Yes? No? Perfect. Or see, if you use operator, there is an option to tell reporting manager also. For example, you might tell this guy is the manager, let us say, by username if you specify, and then you will be saying uh, to operator and then sorry to the operator, and then you are saying, let us say, that particular operator. Let us say this guy left the organization. What will happen then? Or he is not available, or this guy's the current operator's manager got changed. So alpha manager one won't be the same guy. Yes or no? To avoid that, if you see, this is the latest feature which Pega has provided. If you see here, if you choose operator and then you can tell reporting manager, this value can be anything. Could be alpha manager 1 or manager 2. Yes or no? See, this is how you will be doing routing. On the assignment, using the routing option, who should be completing this particular assignment? You are choosing the operator and then telling the reporting manager of the current operator. Submit. Save. So I'm taking an error path to show you how the error will occur and then we'll rectify that. Run. Create. Here I'll be giving some details just to be able to verify later. How many minutes do we have? 5 minutes. Okay, perfect. Mail 25. Okay, and then I'll say Karnataka, Mysore, submit. AG002, tab, commercial, submit. Auto vehicle FA. So after this information is provided, we expect this to be routed 1, 2, 3, and sorry, brand Nissan, Micra, and let's say it's a 2022 model. Okay, and then I'll say submit. See what message you will get here. Do you see what are you seeing here? What is the message you are getting? The workflow, the Pega workflow is telling you, hey, glad that you're working on this thing, but right now I have routed this appropriately. In the sense, this task is no more under your control. It's not under your control anymore. See, it is gone to the person who this has been routed to. Yes or no? Ideally, what it had to do, it had to take us to address info. But after the personal vehicle, auto vehicle info you provided, it took you, it gives you a message for the current operator. It is showing a message. It's telling, boss, whatever you had to do, you are done. Right now, this has been routed accordingly. In the sense, whoever is this work object is supposed to go to, it has gone to him. Does it make sense? Now let us try to log in into this particular manager's ID through a different system, different login. Okay. So I logged into this guy. I should be able to see that here only, but let us see. How many minutes more? Okay. If it ends, I'll be sending you a new link and then you can join that. Is that okay? Perfect. So now we logged in as the manager. Let me go back to my Dev Studio. Perfect. So all we have done is we understood what is routing all about, and we have routed this particular work object to the current operator's manager. In the sense, you went and asked for a bike, and then you routed this to your mom, and now your mom is routing it to your dad. Let us see how it is working, right? Let us figure out that work object. What is the work object we have been working on? That I can click on here, and let us see if it is the same one. A2022502 A2022120502. Okay. See, right now the current operator who is the admin at Alpha is not able to modify that because it has been routed to this particular user. Let me open this and see if I'm able to access it. See, it is telling last flow step could not be found. Assignment for, and it is telling it couldn't be found. Let us try to open this guy and check what exactly does that mean. Let me say go here and see what happens. See, technically I should be able to get approve or reject button here. Yes or no? That's what we configured here, right, guys? But I'm not able to find that. Something has gone wrong. When we try to design it, something has gone wrong. My application tells me that it has been routed successfully, but it is telling could not be found in this flow. Assignment 4 and ID approval info could not be found in this flow is what it is telling. Let us see how we can fix it. So to fix this, if you see when we configured the flow action, what did we say? Let us go back. Before that, let us see if we have the page which we created. What was the page which we created, guys? Approval page. That should be there here, right? For me to be able to access that particular. See, I don't see the approval page anywhere here. Can you guys find it? We are not seeing that. Technically, when I'm trying to load that, see, approval info is present on the approve and reject attributes are present on approval info page. Sorry, the approval page, which is not created on the clipboard. If you remember, when we configured our flow action, we told the clipboard page is going to use approval page. Yes or no? Did we say that? Which is not available. That is why this user is not able to, this work object is telling, hey, I'm not able to find that assignment for. Why? Because that page is not at all loaded. Let us try to load that and verify if this thing is working. How can I load it? Let us understand that. So, so far we have understood how we can modify a flow, add an assignment, and transfer the case from a given work object to, from a given user to his manager. How that routing can be enabled, we saw that on the assignment. We went and we told custom and we chose to the manager of this current operator is what we have chosen. Let us try to fix if this the approval page is not available in clipboard. Is it available, guys? Did we see that? Were we able to find that? Yes? No? We were not able to find that. That means we have to explicitly create it somehow. Somehow we should be creating it, or else those details are not going to be available as part of the flow. How to make that page available? We can do that. To do that, if you go to the flow action which you created, which is customer flow. If you go to this particular flow action, here before this flow action is loaded, if you remember, we did lot of stuff when we worked with flow actions before, where we ran data transforms, ran activity. In post processing, we did that. Yes or no? Applying data transform, running activities. Did we do that previously when we learned what is flow action and what is data transform? We ran that here. In pre-processing also we can do that. Let us see how can we utilize this flow actions pre-processing to add that page. By the time we access the approval section, the page on which it is loading, which is approval page, should be available in clipboard, or else it will not load that flow action at all. To make sure this page is created on the flow action, we have to explicitly do it. How can we do it? We can think of running a data transform. Let us see how we can do it. All these rules are something which you have already learned, just helping you enable them and stitch them together. Let us say I want to load a data transform. Load approval page data transform. Perfect. So this data transform doesn't exist. That is why it is coming here, because that's why I had to write it. After I write it, if I click here, it should help me create one. See, it is creating a new approval. Sorry, it has to be loan approval, not load approval. Load, sorry, it has to load the approval page. Perfect. Yes, data transform. What should we do as part of this? It has to load a clipboard page with which is necessary for this flow action. Let us say we want to create it like this. Let's say create and open, and let's not do anything. Let's just set some value to on that page. Dot approval page dot approval, and let me just set a blank value to this approval. I'm just setting a blank value. Ideally, the operator who is going to open this is going to update this page. I don't want to update anything here. I just want to create the page. Why? For the flow action to load, this particular page should be available for him. Now that I have created this page, and I have to call that also from loan approval page. Okay, load approval page. Perfect. Let me save this. So this way my changes are in. Let me try to refresh this. Can I refresh this? Still it is giving me error. Delete this assignment. Let's try to create a new work object. Also, we'll try to modify and give it to a specific user instead of telling the manager, reporting manager. Let's give the username specifically, which is alpha manager 1. Perfect. Save this guy. Perfect. Now let us run this flow again. Say create. Kill. Chennai. Submit. Personal vehicle. Submit. Brand. Tata. Nexon. 2022. 5. Princess. No. Tamil Nadu. Submit. So this got routed again. This tells it has been routed appropriately. Let us go back to this particular screen. Close this guy. Refresh this. Okay, we should have 3. Okay, which got created. No. Assignment for ID and approval info could not be found on this flow, is what it tells. Let's try to understand what's happening. Go. Open in review. I'm able to find all the details, but my section is not loading. Let's enable tracer and check what exactly is the issue. Mm-hmm. So all this is unnecessary, which is getting loaded. That's fine. Let me try to load the manager portal once and check. User portal, manager portal. That's fine. Okay. So this is the portal this particular user is assigned to, and if you see, I'm sorry, let me launch the portal again. The work object has been routed to him successfully. However, we are not able to complete it. Do you see that this manager's work list is populated with this particular work object which got created? Yes or no? Also, something to verify in this thing is to see if there is a history associated with that. How can I check that? Stakeholders, owners, stuff like that. Audit. View history. Under actions, you will see the view history, which will help you understand if the routing ever happened to this particular operator. Let us open this particular work object history and see what has happened on this particular work object. If you see, Item got created at 10:41. Status changed from pending customer info after I gave the customer details. Then that task got completed. Then it moved to customer details FA. That task got completed. Transaction FA. It came to transaction flow action. It got completed, and the status changed to pending info. Then we completed the task to completed task, and then we went to auto vehicle flow action. After auto vehicle flow action, what did we ask the system to do? We asked we asked this particular work object to be routed to someone. Yes or no? Yes or no, guys? We asked the system to route this particular work object to alpha manager 1. Did we ask that? In the flow, that has happened. That has happened, and when the alpha manager 1 is accessing his portal, he is able to see that in his work list, this particular work object is sitting. Yes or no? My work list. Are you able to see that work object here, guys? Yes? No? Of course, we are getting some error in that. We'll have to rectify that. But when we have routed that work object, the routing is happening successfully to this particular user. It is like telling Vishwas, before you go to bed, you have to trash this. That's what we are telling in this flow. In this flow, we are telling whatever happens with this work object so far is good. After that, the approval has to go to this particular user. Yes or no? Have we told that, guys? Okay, we can do one more thing. Let us check in this. Right. And let us save, because I feel like somehow the issue is because we are using this in the older version. Let us save as this to the new rule set, which is 01002. Perfect. Okay. Start flow. Perfect. And the first thing we have to do is first let's lock that rule set, because that is kind of confusing us when we are trying to run the flow rule section. There is somewhere I was able to access. Okay, let me open this. Let's lock the rule set first so that we don't save anything into the previous version. Do we see how exactly saving in previous version can cause issues? Once you are done with that, it's best. Okay, see, it has some checked out records. How do I know? I can just click on this guy. Where is approval FA? 01002. Okay. Bulk actions. Bulk actions, and see who is sitting where. Policy section. Okay. Okay, now it should let me save that. If any rules are checked out also, it won't let you lock. You have to check in all the rules before you lock it. Now it is done. Perfect. Now let us run one more flow and check it. No thanks. Actions. Run. Create one more object. Shant. gmail.com, email 20, and then let's say Maharashtra. Let me put be in Mumbai. Submit. Personal vehicle insurance. Let's forget about the agency code for now. And brand Let's keep it blank for now. Submit. Now it should route it to that particular guy. Let us see if the routing happened successfully. Let us go here. Right now you see how many items are there in his work list, guys? One. Let us refresh this guy. Sorry. Are we able to see two items now? See, the routing has happened. Let us see if we are still seeing that error. Perfect. Do you see that now? We are not seeing that any error anymore. But we also want to see the flow action to be loaded. Uh, where is my flow action? Policy LA, no. I just don't want to see submit here. I want to see the flow action as well, where I can provide inputs. The data transform was created by loan approval page DT. Perfect. I specified that in approval flow action. I save this. I think I forgot saving this, I guess. Okay. Let's run this one more time. Oh, I think I can refresh this here and I should be able to do it. This is my case which got routed. Open. We should be able to get submit. So now it is taking you to the next flow action. However, we should get the section which we have configured there, which is, am I having that clipboard page being built? Let us check first. Approval page. Will not be found in this flow. Not this one. Are we able to find approval info, guys? Can you run your eyes across? There should be a clipboard page called approval info. I see someone pinging. Okay, let us try to check that again. Coming back to my flow action, I have told load this guy. Perfect. When I open this, I have this data transform available and trying to set some property. Perfect. Which is in 0 and 0 and 02, which makes sense. The routing is happening successfully, right? I can see that it is happening successfully. This is also set to approval. Perfect. Let us see. Customer flow. We completed this flow action, and this is the auto vehicle flow action, which is there. I need to see. I'm using the clipboard page to load it. It's getting loaded. Perfect. And also something which is happening is we have created this assignment. Through this assignment, the routing happening successfully. This is what we wanted to demonstrate. We are able to do that, but we are not able to see the section which has to appear there, where the approver is able to approve it and submit it. That is something which is not happening. It should happen. Approval page is not getting built. So approval. I went on the approval flow action. I created this particular data transform also. Load the clipboard page. Set it to null. This should load. So I do have a suggestion from someone. Let us see. What was that? dy set default. Let us say I'm trying to set some property here as well on this particular. In this I will add one more property. Let us say checkout and set dot approval page dot comments. This is also something I will pass. I'll say I'm passing test. Save this guy. Oh, let us check in everything which is open so we don't miss out on anything. Approval if okay, most of them are not checked in. That could also be an issue because it is local to this guy's bulk prefix. Updated. Start. Insert. Start. This is one last try just to figure out why exactly my or I feel like this the checkout is will be local to this particular user, because of which we might not be able to see. Let us confirm that, let us see if it is the case. Okay, anything checked out? Nothing. Perfect. Let us create another case and confirm that. Actions run. I don't have existing web object. Let us go back here. Let us verify. Okay, on the existing open work object, can I go back? No, I don't think I can go back. I will have to click here. Go. Perfect. Does it make sense, guys? So the issue was I hadn't checked in the code, and whatever you have checked out will be local to that particular operator. Does it make sense? Yes? No? A small change, right? A very small change. All that we did here was, if you see, I'll walk you through from scratch now. Close everything. So we understood how routing happens. Now we wanted to establish that through a flow. And in this flow, we added an assignment for that manager. The manager should be able to approve or reject this based on what is happening. So to do that, we performed all the changes. However, they were just sitting in this local, in the sense only this operator had access to it because it was in my checkout. I had to check in that. I hadn't checked in that. I checked in all that code, and then now when I'm trying to run this flow, for example, let us run this guy, and let us say I'm creating, okay, Bharat, come, and then Karnataka, say Bangalore, submit. This assignment was okay. The customer details assignment is okay. In the same way, this is the transaction flow action. Right now the flow is here. Yes or no? Do we agree, guys? Right now the flow is here. Perfect. Do we agree? The flow is here for this particular work object 6 -6, right? Perfect. So AG002 Bangalore. Okay, perfect. Next, here he's choosing his brand. Arc C class 2022, and then when is, let us say, some number. Pre-insurance, no. Now when he submits, from here this has to go to his manager for approval. Yes or no? According to the routing, this has to move to the manager for approval. I can log in from that manager's credentials and I can see. If I go back to his, in his portal, when I go back, how many items do I see right now? 3 items are assigned. This is the item we were working on. Yes or no? 6. See, it got routed. Your work has been routed to this particular manager. You applied for leave. The leave request came to your manager. It is available in his work list. Is it available, guys? In the work list? Yes? No? He can work on this thing. All he has to do is open this work object, where as a manager, what does he do? He approves your leave or he rejects your leave. Yes or no? Now this is coming up because the page was not available. Now that we ran the data transform, the page got built and it is giving him option to choose whatever he wants to do. Let us say he wants to approve it. And details looks okay. Please proceed. Submit. Now this thing can be accessed by this guy also. If he comes back, comes here, and then let us say this guy has closed this. I just don't want him to be. Okay. He comes here, comes back, and let us say he's refreshing this. Now this user can proceed further from where he was. See, now he's on address flow action, which is this assignment. Do we understand how routing can be achieved in Pega, guys? Yes? No? Any questions so far? All that we did was we added a data type to capture the approval, and then the major part was routing that particular assignment to this manager. We are able to do it. Multiple options are there. You can assign it to a specific operator, or you can assign it to a queue. Oh god, I'm accessing the older rule. Check out and you'll be able to see that. See, you can assign it to an operator, you can assign it to the current operator, which was the default setting which was present. If you see all the other assignments, they have current operator specified in them. See, current operator. That is why it is not getting routed to anyone. However, this particular assignment is where the work object in its flow, it's going from the current user's work list to this guy's work list. Yes or no? Perfect. And there are multiple ways in which you can assign. Why we use the operator and then we told that particular manager's ID. Or also what you can do, you can specify a specific work queue. We'll see those also. You can do custom and then you can tell it should be a work list to the work list of this particular manager. Yes or no? Or you can say work queue. The other stuff also, these are not like important for you right now. These are pretty high level in terms of your understanding. You won't need it right now. All you have to understand is how you can route a assignment or a work object to a work basket or a work list. Today we understood how exactly you can route a work object from your work list to your manager's work list. This could be anyone. You can specify anyone and you can move that to that particular guy's work list. Yes or no? Does it make sense, guys? Was this understood? Perfect. Yes, we should be able to. If it is not there, it doesn't make sense at all. How will the values appear if that page is not available there? For example, this is the work object we have been working on. 6. Let us go and check. Oh, expand your PY work page and find that. What is the value he set? Approve. What are the comments he gave? Details looks okay. Please proceed. Does it make sense? Also, one way you can do is open this guy, and also we do have a audit lesson where we'll be going in detail, but you can also see the history of that particular work object. What has been the journey of this particular work object? You can understand that, yes or no? See, these tasks were performed by whom? The approval tasks? Manager. Is this, doesn't it give you understanding? If you open your Amazon orders history, you will see when did it come leave the warehouse, where did it go after it got shipped, where is it exactly right now? Don't we see all these details with timestamp and date? You can download this and share with others also. There's something called as case narrative also, what has happened from the status standpoint, how exactly the status has changed. See, item got created, became pending customer info, and now it is pending vehicle info. Does it make sense? See, easy to understand, guys. Routing. Perfect. That's good. So this is what I had for today. If this is understood, that's good. We can catch up tomorrow, and I wish you guys have a really good Monday. Thank you. Thank you.